Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Adam Anderson. I'm hoping you knew that by the intro. Who else would be talking to you if not Adam Anderson? It'd be kind of weird if someone else was here. Let me ask, how do you get a woman attracted to you? If you were to walk up to some woman on the street, or if you were talking to a woman online, how do you go from just meeting her to getting her attracted to you? Can you even get a woman attracted to you online? Let's say you didn't even have like a picture. For some reason, let's take that out of the equation. Can you get a woman attracted to you just by texting her and stuff? Well, the answer is yes. And in this video, we'll be talking about how to do that exactly. And let me ask, how important do you think attraction is on a scale from 1 to 10? Well, I would say attraction is the most important thing there is. If a woman is attracted to you, she'll go out with you, and if she's attracted enough, she'll kiss you and sleep with you and become your girlfriend, and she'll marry you. That's how important attraction is. In fact, attraction is so important that there are girls right now out there in the world with abusive boyfriends who beat them, who are mean to them, who cheat on them, who do every bad thing in the world to them, and they won't break up with that guy. Why in the world will those girls not break up with that guy? That sounds so weird to me, right? That's just so weird that they won't break up with those guys. But that's just because they're that attracted to that guy. No, these are not dumb girls. They know they should break up with those guys, but they're very, very, very attracted to them. On the other hand, there are girls, perhaps girls in your life, who know that you perhaps are very sweet, very kind, you have a very good job, you will be very loving, very caring, you will pay lots of attention to her, always focus on her problems, do all these traditional romantic things that guys are supposed to do, and yet these girls will turn you down, or guys like this down, repeatedly, all the time, to go out with guys who have worse jobs, who pay less attention to them, who, don't care about their feelings, who don't talk about them, who don't try to take their interests into account, who don't do romantic things for them, guys who may act sort of what we'll call a jerk, right? Just for now, we'll call it a jerk. Maybe later we'll see that that's not such a jerky thing to do, but they don't seem to be like this romantic type of guy, and yet girls will choose those guys over these nice, sweet, caring guys. Why do they do that? And that's because those guys know how to trigger attraction. That's how important this concept is. When you get attraction down, girls will go out with you. Girls will kiss you, girls will sleep with you, girls will date you. I don't suggest being the abusive guy, for obvious reasons, but even if you were, which you don't do, they will still continue to date you and sleep with you. When you don't have attraction, even if you do all the right things, even if you're the perfectly nice guy in every single way, even if you're the romantic guy, they still won't be with you, they won't want to be in your life. That's how important this is. So let's talk about exactly how you become the attractive guy. How to trigger attraction in women so that they will want to date you. And by the way, when you're both the attractive guy and the romantic guy, or we'll say the guy who can be the sweet, awesome, caring man, when you could be both at the same time, it's just amazing for them. For them to have both, it's like a romantic movie for them. In fact, that's what most romantic movies are, right? It's both the attractive guy, and then he does something romantic at the end, so it's both of them together, and that's why girls flock to those movies. So, bucket theory. Got my little notes here in case you see me glancing down, that's what these are. What is bucket theory, and why it's so important, and why does it have such a weird name? So, guys, as males with penises, we tend to get attracted to women right away or not at all. If she's hot, if she's got breasts, if she looks good, we want to sleep with her. And if she's fat, if she looks like she's Quasimodo in female form, we don't want to sleep with her, and she disgusts us. And sometimes as guys, in fact most of the time always, we tend to think of women the same way, as having like this on or off switch. And we'll put up our little pictures online, and we'll just put up some pictures of us, maybe we shot it really quickly with our phone, in the mirror, standing there, and then we'll say, hey, to them, and expect girls to immediately either be attracted to us or not, maybe make some instant decisions. Maybe we kind of know how this works or not, but we'll expect it to be immediate. And for girls, this isn't how it works at all. Girls build up attraction over the long run based primarily on your personality. Looks only play actually a little part of it. And I want you to think of it like a bucket. So every time you do something attractive, and we'll talk about exactly what those things are a little bit later, you kind of throw a couple pebbles into the bucket. And every time you do something unattractive, you kind of throw a couple pebbles out. And maybe if it's majorly unattractive, you throw a handful out, or if it's really, really unattractive, you just take the whole bucket and you empty it and you kick it off over to the curb and you never have any chance with her again at all. But once that bucket starts to get full enough, well then you can take the next step with her. So if you're online and you're talking to her and you say something that's not high in your opener, unless you got like a really good cute picture, but you say, something kind of funny and witty, well that was enough buckets, pebbles, and she's going to check out your profile or maybe respond to you or something. And if that looks good, if your profile looks good, she responds to you. And then when you start talking to her, a couple more pebbles come in and the bucket weighs enough that she's going to give you her number. Now you just got her number, which is great, don't get me wrong, but it's not like she's going to make out with you yet or anything like that. That's for the date. So you go on a date, she sees that you're a fun, charming, confident guy, all these things we're going to talk about in a second, and you get to spend a couple hours with her, and during this time you're just throwing these pebbles in here and making her laugh and making her smile and coming off not like every other guy, but like someone who's fun to be around, a little bit of cockiness, a little bit of charming and edge to you, and then what does she want to do? She wants to kiss you. Now, does she want to be in a long-term relationship yet? No. But she definitely wants a second date. And she'll fill up more and more and more, and then she'll sleep with you, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think you know how this goes. And at the same time, maybe you did something stupid in a date, you farted in front of her, or whatever you did. Little pebbles go out, but that's not so bad. You're doing good things all around. Bucket's filling up, everything's going good. Now, the problem here is, what do most guys do when they're starting to talk to a girl, either in real life or online? What do most guys try to do? You do it, every try the guys do it. They try to stay neutral. Most guys, when they meet a girl, just try to be neutral because they're trying to avoid rejection. Now, in real life, that's going to end you up in the friend zone. If you meet a girl and you're not trying to trigger attraction, that bucket's not going to fill up. Maybe it's not going to get empty more, but it's going to stay empty. And she's not going to see you as a potential mate. She's not going to see you as boyfriend potential. She's just going to see you as a friend. And you get in that friend zone, and it's very, very, very hard to get out of that. It's possible. It's happened to me. It's happened to other guys I've known. But it's very, very difficult. Online, that's not even going to be a chance, because she's getting so inundated by 20, 30, 40 guys messaging her that if you're just trying to be neutral, if you're saying stuff like, hi, how are you? What do you do for a living? How's your work? How's your weekend? What are you doing now? Do you have any plans this weekend? What side of town are you on? Did you watch the game? Did you have a fun Thanksgiving, which recently passed, so that's what I'm bringing up. Any of this really stupid crap that most guys will say, it immediately just out, right? Especially online. Because especially online, you're supposed to be hitting on her. It's not like you're meeting her at church, right? If you were to go to church, if you were to go to your cousin's bar mitzvah, and you were to meet a girl, oh, cousin Saul, meet, I don't know, Sandy, right? You sit them down at the same table, and you say that stuff to her. Maybe you have a shot with her later in the night, because you're meeting in a neutral spot, there's not many people around, you have to talk together. If she saw you being attractive later, perhaps you could get a date. But online, you're supposed to hit on her, and when you're neutral and when there's 30 other guys hitting on her, she's just going to delete your message, she's going to move on to someone else. It's not a good way to go, it just comes across lame. Alright, that's pretty much it. That's the point I'm trying to get across. It comes across lame. You're supposed to be hitting on her and you're not. It's showing that you have no balls. When you're talking to a woman, you should be talking with the intent to trigger attraction. So, every time, every single message that you should be sending, you should be asking yourself, is this going to be triggering attraction, or is this not going to be triggering attraction? So let's look at some common ones that guys send. The hi, how are you? What do you do for a living? Blah, 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 all these kind of interview questions. Will those possibly trigger attraction in women? No, they're not. What about questions about her life? What do you do for a living? What's your family like? What type of stuff do you like to do? What do you like to do for fun? Why would she want to answer these from a complete stranger? She wouldn't. You're a complete stranger. She doesn't have a reason to answer these yet. She doesn't have... It's not like sitting at your cousin's bar mitzvah where she has to be polite to you because, you're there and it'd be really rude to just ignore you. It's online. There's YouTube. There's Twitter. There's every reason in the world to ignore you. She's just going to ignore you. That's it. She's going to ignore you. You're going to feel bad. And that's just what's going to happen. When you ask her questions, that's not going to be triggering attraction. And again, we're going to talk about a little bit later. I don't want to give you too many examples right now of the things to say to her that will do it, but questions are not going to do it. These little neutral things are not going to do it. What's mainly going to do it is being fun. It's going to be being cocky and confident. It's going to be being different from other guys. It's going to be teasing her a little. Not teasing her in a mean way, but teasing her in a flirtatious way. And if you go watch movies where two people are flirting with each other, you'll notice that there's a little bit of teasing and playfulness back and forth. And that's what you're going to be wanting to do, and going to be wanting to do it right from the start. And yes, when you do that, you're kind of putting yourself out there. But guess what? If you don't put yourself out there, you have zero chance. The reason why you're not doing good online right now is because you're not putting yourself out there. When you do put yourself out there, it's scary, but at least you have a chance with women. And at least you're going to get a date. And I'll tell you what, having rejection by, 15 online girls who you're never going to see again, to go out with that one girl and have a good time and have a good date and perhaps have a chance to kiss a girl is totally worth it. So, along the lines of bucket there, I want to say before moving on, one of the reasons why your profile is so important and one of the reasons why you have to fill it out so much is that it fills up this bucket. And one of the reasons why you see me and maybe some other guys out there who teach stuff, we could just talk to women for 5 minutes, 15 minutes sometimes, and we'll just get the number and go out. It's because we spend a lot of time on our profile, on our pictures, and all this stuff. And so when she goes and she looks at it, she automatically feels like she knows who we are. It's like, if you take a look at just someone's profile and there's one, bathroom selfie pic in there, of them staring creepily in the mirror, and they just say cook meals, and I'm here for, looking for the woman I love or something. I'm an INFJ. If they just have that on the profile, you have no idea who they are except some kind of creepy guy, and it's not going to fill up that bucket at all. But when it's this fill out thing, which if you watch some of the videos you know how to do, well, then slip up the bucket, and they're already like, oh, I like this guy, I'm attracted to this guy, I feel like I know him, I want to go on a date. We talk to them for 10 minutes, and they're like, oh, you're fun, you're cool, you're exactly like how your profile is, give them a number, and then we go out with them. Okay, so what causes attraction? Alright, on to the fun stuff, right? Men are attracted right away largely on looks, and for this reason, men kind of view relationships kind of like a business agreement. Men kind of think relationships are kind of like, well, you agree to go out with me and be my girlfriend, and I will agree to, listen to your feelings and take you on romantic and expensive dates, and, I will not try to get physical with you until you're ready. Agreed? Sign the contract. Okay, we have our agreement. And when that doesn't work for them, they start to kind of like get overly into it, right? They get like more business agreement. It's like, well, girls don't go out with me, so I will buy you lots of jewelry, and we will never get physical anytime at all, and I will pay all this attention to you, and, I will never talk about my needs at all, we can only talk about you, and all I want to do is cuddle with you and watch movies, right? That's it, and they try to give them even more business stuff. Women get attracted slowly and largely on personality, and for this reason they view it more like a game. So how do you play this game? And this is largely how you attract women at all. So the name of the game is you want me more than I want you. If you can convince every woman you meet that they want you more than you want them, you'll be set for life. Every woman will be attracted to you. And this is your game. And so as soon as you start talking to a woman, whether online or in real life, you're trying to play this subtly game where you don't say it outright, but in every single interaction you're saying, you want me more than I want you. And I'll give you some examples of this. So one of my favorite pickup lines ever is to go up to a woman and say, excuse me, I'm a very attractive guy. I just want you to meet me. Alright? Which is funny, right? It's funny, it's confident, it's cocky, it's all these nice things, but it's also saying, I'm a very attractive guy and you should be happy to meet me. And it's of course playing off of the normal line where guys say, oh, you're a very attractive woman, I just wanted to meet you. And it fills up that bucket. What it's saying is, I expect to get a good response from this. I expect that you would find me attractive. I expect that you're going to laugh and I'm going to like me. And also, if you don't, it's going to be okay by me because I get lots of attention from women. You guys kind of all pick up on that? You kind of see how that's being said and just those kind of lines and the way that's said to that? When you tease a woman, when you see that she's got like some online photos, right? And let's say they're all like her like looking up to the left, because sometimes women have like a good side and she knows that. She knows like her left is her good side, so she's always like in every single one of the photos. And you type to her like, so I see you always look on the left on the good side. Is your right side of your face heavily scarred? Do you have like a Phantom of the Opera thing going? It's funny, right? And it's cocky, and it's saying to her, right, you want me more than I want you. I'm not really giving that much of a fuck. I don't really care. So this is the game you want to play. Most guys keep losing at this game. You see, when you go up to a woman and you're like, I'll buy you stuff. Here are some flowers. Here are some chocolates. Oh, you look really pretty. I really like that shirt. It looks really nice on you. you're really sweet. What you're basically saying to her is, one, I just want your approval, and I want your attention, and I just want you to be nice to me, and I'm really scared that you'll be rejected to me. But you're also saying, I really, really want you. And you probably don't want me at all because you probably have a lot of guys hitting on you. And it's basically like playing a game with a girl and conceding immediately. If you were playing like a game of chess with someone and they kept losing immediately on purpose, and you're just like, oops, I lose again, you're really good at this. Wow, you're so wonderful, do you want to play again? Do you want to play with that person? No, you want like a fun, interesting game. You want like exciting games. And when you tease a woman, when you have this little cocky arrogance to it, that is what you're doing. That is what you're doing. You're making this fun and exciting for her. You're making this flirtatious. Women don't say, all right, they don't go to their friend's house and say, oh, I just met this most amazing guy. We've come up with this business arrangement where he agreed to pay lots of attention to me and buy me stuff. No, they say, oh my God, Becky, I just met this amazing guy. It was so much fun. Oh, he was so amazing. Then he said this and ooh. Right? It's just all this fun. It's just all this excitement. It's all this entertainment. So, what's exactly, and I know we kind of touched on it, what exactly are the ways to convey to a woman that she wants you more than you want her? So confidence, I hope everyone knows to be confident, right? It basically says, other women have liked me before, so I don't really need you, right? But confidence is a big one. Higher social status is probably like the biggest one ever. It's a very, very deep, like level 1. If, it's like if you were higher social status, you would get every woman, but it's kind of hard to do and it's deep there. I'm saying aloofness, not caring too much in the interaction. If she's talking and you're hanging on to every single word like this, that's not that good. But if she's talking and you're playing on your phone, texting, oh yeah, that's cool, right? Do something different there. Teasing her. Being cocky and funny. You might have heard me mentioning that some. It's not really a better way to say that. I think it was David D'Angelo who said that like way back in the day. It's really, really old school, but it works really, really, really well. And essentially what you do is you take a cocky line, right? You take something cocky to say, and then you make it funny. So something cocky might be, I'm very attractive, and turning that and making it funny is, I'm a very attractive guy, I just wanted you to meet me. Right, something cocky might be, or kind of like jerkish, might be saying, girl, like, you're dumb, like if she doesn't get one of your jokes, just saying, you're kind of dumb, that's just mean, right? But making a cocky and funny line would be, I can see that you're natural blonde. That's cocky and funny, and you could say that to her, and she'll laugh, and she will like you more for it. I want to mention here, so a little analogy here. There's a lot of guys who, and I used to be one of these guys, that when they see this, when they see other guys doing it, we kind of mentioned this at the beginning, that they kind of see that and it kind of looks like being a jerk, right? It kind of looks like, oh man, you're like being a jerk, you're like being mean. And it's kind of more like being like a cat with a string. Like, if you had a cat and you had a string here, what would the cat want you to do? The cat would want you to bounce the string, right? And the cat would want to try to catch it. And that cat could not get enough of catching the string. Right? Like that would be like the cat's favorite game in the world. Right? And you could just for hours dangle that string in front of the cat, and as long as you don't get tired, that cat would not get tired of that string and would just love it, right? And that's kind of like a girl with teasing her. And that's like a girl with being cocky and funny. And that's like a girl with you coming off like this confident, aloof guy. Okay? When she gets home to her friends, she's just over the moon about it. Okay? She's laughing, she's giggling. You've probably actually sat down, you've been in the friend zone with girls who have told you about these guys. Okay? And they've just laughed, and they smiled, and they've talked to them. And you kind of thought they were a jerk. And why was that? Because if you were a guy, and you've never had any experience with cats, alright? You just never even heard of cats before. Somehow they you never saw anything. And you walked into a room, and there was a guy with a string, and there was this cat trying to catch it, and you looked at that, and you were kind of like a logical guy, and you were there looking at that thing, you would probably be thinking to yourself, that cat wants that string, and a nice guy would give that cat the string. And that guy's being a jerk, because what he's doing is he's teasing that cat with a string, but pulling it out of the cat's reach at the last second. And, if you wanted a cat to like you and you got a chance, you'd probably be like, here, cat. Here is some string. I'm going to give you some string, cat. I will give you all the string in the world. And of course, the last thing the cat wants is the string. What the cat wants is for you to pull the string away at the last second. And it's the same thing with girls. When guys who are logical, guys who are not good with girls, see other guys teasing girls, it gives like this weird appearance of them being a jerk, and they're not. This is how flirting works. This is the way it goes. This is what girls love about it. So I kind of want you to kind of get over that thing. I know it's got like kind of years, maybe decades, right, of building up inside you, of seeing other guys get the girls by doing this jerkish behavior. And you kind of have to kind of like get over that internally and throw that out. Because it's really the way the world works. Not only that, it's what girls will like about you. Especially online. She has way, way, way too many guys coming up to her, treating her like a princess, telling her that she's beautiful, treating her like, they're like putting the pussy on the pedestal, 40-year-old virgin there. And again, it's just them conceding the game to her. And she hasn't found a guy who can really tease her, keep that string away, who can really play it and excite her emotions, which is what she wants. You make it fun for her, which is what she really wants. So be that guy. Okay, so let's go through some examples of how exactly to do it. And if you're ever kind of like want to really get into meat of this, I suggest checking out my paid programming stuff. I kind of put this video out here, which is a longer video than I normally do, just because this is really a hard thing for most guys, and I really wanted you to have a very long, free video here, because it's an important concept. I would say, again, attraction is the most important concept there is, and I really want you to get it. But one of the things you could do to a girl, that's maybe the best thing you could do, is kind of steal her frame. You may have heard this before, is pretend to be a girl, right? Not literally, but girls get a lot of guys, right, flirting with them, or trying to, sucking at it, pretending to, like, telling them they're beautiful, doing all this creepy stuff, right? So just pretend that that's happening to you. So for example, I would say to a girl, this is one of the things I literally say to them, I'll just put it like the second thing out there, really early in the conversation, and I'll say, it's so hard being a guy on here. All these girls wanting to get into my pants, asking for more kicks so they can send me vag pics. You're lucky to be a girl and not have to deal with any of that. That's a great thing to send a woman. You can send that, you can make that your first message. You can do a second message. Sometimes if there's a lull in the conversation, you just can't think of anything to say anymore, you can just send that to her. Vag pic is a really great thing to say, by the way. I'll do that all the time too. If she mentions wanting to text, or she says something, I'll just be like, you're not going to start sending me vag pics, are you? You're not a creepy weirdo who's going to send me vag pics. That's a great thing. Other things you could do, take anything from her profile and just rag on it. Don't make it the obvious thing, because every other guy's making it the obvious thing. So if she has a profile name that says Spoon Up Butt, I don't know. Every other guy has seen that and is, commented upon it. If she asks any question on her profile, every other guy has seen that and has commented upon it. However, if she has 5 pics up and 2 of them she's wearing the same shirt, say to her, so what's with wearing the pink shirt twice? Is that all the clothes you have? Do you not know you do not know how to go shopping, right? Great thing to say. Things you could do in real life when you're walking down the street with her. One of the things I like to do is just like, if you're not like holding hands, and she's walking, just kind of drop behind so she can't see you anymore, and then run behind a corner, and you like duck behind a corner, and she'll like notice, right? She'll like notice after a second, and then she'll like wonder where you are, and then she'll walk back, she'll retrace her steps, and then she'll like see you're like hiding from her behind a corner, like some kind of child, right? And then she'll be like, "What are you doing?" And you'll just be like, "I was hiding from you." And then she'll go, "Why?" And you go, "Because you smell." Or just something stupid, right? You call her ugly, right? That's always great. You could call her ugly and then compliment her. So you could, at any time in the world, right? You could go, "You're ugly," and she goes, "What?" And you go, with your kissable lips and your perky breasts, and then you could like stick your hand in her face and just like push her away from you, and that's wonderful because you both insulted her and you complimented her and you made it like overly sexual, so you like overly like sexualized her in such a way that she couldn't like object to it. So like you commented on her breasts, and so you made it like okay to not comment on her breasts in the future. And then you started like pushing her away from the face. Like, it's perfect. Everything about that is perfect. You can repeat embarrassing things she said loudly. So I love doing that all the time. Like if she like just talking about like laughing, and she talks about like how she peed herself a little, which girls do a lot, and I just kind of find it kind of disgusting. But you just be like, "What's that? You peed yourself? You're incontinent? You need the pants?" And just as loud as you possibly can. She'll give you everything you need, by the way. I'm just telling you some just so you can kind of get it, but don't. She's just going to screw up, right? That's basically it. She's going to come off nerdy or bratty or kind of like goofy, and you're just going to be a ribble of rag on her, and that's going to be great. Now, what's maybe more even important than this is what not to do. I've got a list here of things not to do, and when we were talking about buckets earlier, and I want you to continue to think of bucket theory, and one of the more important things to think about bucket theory is that us guys, we tend to put a lot of ego around talking to girls. I know, shocking, right? It's almost like we don't like being rejected. It's almost like it hurts to be rejected, or I don't know, some kind of weird thing where we want to talk to girls and it goes right. I don't know, it's crazy. But for some reason, when it kind of goes wrong a little, we really don't like that. And a lot of times, we take it too far, and we stop talking to her, and we shouldn't. So a lot of times, you'll be talking to a girl, and you'll just do right thing, right thing, right thing, right thing, right thing, and then you'll say something a little bit bad, and she'll give you just a little bit like, you make a joke, and she'll be like, "Oh, that was kind of poor taste." And you'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry," just stop talking to her, right? Or you'll be talking to a girl online, and you say something, she says something, you say something, she says something, you say something, and then she just doesn't say anything, so you just stop talking to her. And I want you to stop that. Because I want you to think of this bucket. It's just, here's a bucket, and you just filled it up, and then you just emptied it a little. You're still good, man. You're still good. You're still doing well. And I get that, this fear of rejection comes up, and this fear of like, oh man, I did something bad. I don't like this hard rejection. I don't like it when girls say no to me. I don't like it. You know what we're really afraid of? We're afraid of people like calling us out. We're afraid of them being like, you're this creepy guy who's trying to pick up girls online. You should be like kind of ashamed of yourself. You're not like this cool guy. You're not like a feminist, right? You're like treating girls meanly. That's kind of what I'm saying. We're afraid of people telling us that. We're a rude guy. Maybe we're perverts, even if we're not being. We're afraid of that more than anything else. And so we'd rather go away and have no chance with a girl than to keep talking and perhaps have that. And that's really something, again, that we should get over in ourselves. Now, that being said, where you should definitely go by the rule that if she's still talking to you, and especially if she's laughing, treat LOL, right, as a girlish giggle. It's like the best thing in the world. If she's sending you emoticons, winky face, smiley face, exclamation marks. This is a girl who loves you. She'll be sucking your dick later, right? Not literally. Don't say that Adam Anderson told you that because she sent you some emoticons, you could just whip out your dick. Takes a date for that. But this stuff I'm about to tell you, this is like going to empty out that bucket and throw it in the corner and hit an orphan in the head with it. Because it's that bad. So most of the stuff you do, she's going to keep talking, she's going to keep laughing with you, and you're just going to be cool again, right? Be cool, be aloof, be confident, be cocky and funny, be higher status. And you're going to take off and you're going to get the girl. Doing this stuff is going to kill any kind of interaction, any kind of possibleness that you could have with her. And that's it. And that's it, right? Alright, cool. So, being too much of a nice guy. First one, maybe the most important one, because let's face it, we're all too much of a nice guy. We've got that kind of nice guy gene in us. That's probably why we're here listening to this video. That was me. I'm still too much of a nice guy. It's probably why I'm making super long videos for you that I'm giving away for free, even though I'm trying to make a business off of this. By the way, I have paid content. It's really super good. I do this for a living. I put the better stuff in the paid stuff. Just letting you know. I make it cheap so you can buy it and use it. But anyways, being too much of a nice guy, it kills all attraction with women. It's not just one that every nice guy that she's ever talked to in her life has pretty much been a loser. And you remind her of that. It's that being a nice guy gives her that, oh, he wants me more than I want her vibe. More than I want him vibe. And it loses the game. So you don't want to be the nice guy. You want to be the cocky and funny guy, right? You want to be the guy who's teasing her and using the cat on the string. Apologizing, or over-apologizing. So when you say the funny line to her, let's say she says, oh, we can meet at Starbucks. When you text back, I can't go to Starbucks. I got kicked out for making the baristas cry. Let's meet at, and you say something else, which is a great line. I use that all the time. And then she goes, that's horrible! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That means she likes it. Good job. That was good. That was a good sign. When she says horrible, that doesn't actually mean horrible. I know that's a little weird, but it means all good things. The worst possible thing, and I know our natural instinct is to go, I'm sorry, oh, just kidding, LOL, something like that. Don't do that, right? Don't apologize for making a funny joke, especially a cocky joke. don't even apologize for, like, you know, she's going to test you sometimes and say, oh, you're one of these cocky dudes, or, you know, you're overconfident, or, you know, maybe she'll say you could be insensitive, or, you know, you just can't, you just don't care about, like, anyone. I don't know. I'm just making shit up, right? But, just say yeah. Right? When she says, like, you know, you're just this overconfident dude who, like, doesn't really give a shit and all you want to do is have fun. Just be like, yeah, and keep going. That's super, super attractive. You do not want to apologize there. That's the wrong thing to do. She's not actually, and again, this is kind of a little too deep for this video, but it's what's called a shit test. She's not actually trying to give you real criticism there. She's more just testing you there. And when you apologize, you're fucking it up for yourself. All this, again, to quote like a David D'Angelo thing, which I think shit test came from, which kind of reminds me, is called wussy stuff, which is a combination of wuss and pussy. Right? I think that's a really good term. Don't be a wussy. And if you just say to yourself, I don't want to be a wussy, I want to get her to think that she wants me more than I want her, and that's it, you'll be good forever. Trying to convince her to like you. Oh man. Psychological problems you have. No. So, again, this is not a business arrangement for her, this is a game. And a lot of times, we'll be talking to a girl, and we'll just be trying to convince them into liking us. We'll be saying, oh, well, you know, we'll be like, give us your number. Right? Give us your number. Give me your number. I hope there's not multiple. I hope you're not there with like 3 guys and you're like texting her and be like, hey, I want to come over for like a gangbang. Yeah, my buddy Steve has got like a huge dick. You know, it's going to go in your mouth. What's your number? But, we'll be trying to convince, you know, be like, give us a number. Give me your number. And she'll say no. Be like, why not? I thought the point of the site was for meeting people. Or we'll say, you know, what's your kick? Don't ask for a kick or Snapchat or anything like that, but that's just another type of video thing. We'll say, I thought the point of the site was for meeting people, or I like texting more than I like the site, whatever you're on, OkCupid, Tinder, Match.com, whatever it is. You know, I like Kik better than this. Or we'll give some other logical reason. You know, we've been talking for a while, we should meet. You know, you said you'd like this type of guy, I'm this type of guy, we should meet. You know, we only have, you know, I'm only here for this weekend. And you said, you know, you wanted to meet a guy or whatever, so we should meet. Or you're only here for this weekend, you said you wanted to meet a guy on your trip, we should meet. Logical reasons don't work. Attraction isn't logical for a woman. Attraction is very, 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 very emotional. Just as, again, playing a game is very, very, very emotional to you. If you were playing a fun video game, you were playing Skyrim, which, I don't know why I said Skyrim, but it's the middle of the game I was thinking of. That's the first game I was thinking of. And you're fighting a dragon, and you're, you know, having your fun, smashing your little buttons, and in the middle of it, the game stops, and the computer starts talking to you and starts saying, I think that you should start using this weapon because this weapon has 1+ hit point over this other weapon, and against this type of dragon with this type of thing, you should use this 1+ hit point thing. It would suck, right? It would not be fun, especially when it kept doing it. You just wanted to fight the fucking dragon. You just wanted it to breathe fire at you, and you just shoot your little arrows at it, or your little magic, or it's been a while since I've played Skyrim, but, you know, whatever it was, and then you want to kill the dragon, get your stuff, and move on, right? Get the power word that was next to the dragon, and move on. That's what's fun. As soon as you start talking to her logically, you're killing it. You're just killing any attraction. You're throwing handfuls out of the bucket, and you're gone, and she's going to stop talking to you. More stuff. Looking for approval or permission for any reason. As soon as you start looking for approval or permission to do stuff, like say, can I ask for your number, instead of asking for a number, that's looking for permission, saying, you're very attractive, is not really saying you're very attractive, it's saying, I'm a needy person and I want your approval, and I'm more concerned about you rejecting me, and I just want you to say, I'm a nice guy, and, to give me some of that approval there, than for you to actually go on a date with me. That's what it's saying. And as soon as you start doing that, you're saying what? You're saying, I like you more than you like me. I want you more than you want me. So for instance, here's one that I know people are going to do a lot, and what I'm going to tell you is kind of subtle. When you're hanging out with a woman, and let's say you're shopping, and she says, ooh, look at these cool things, and she kind of goes over there to look at them, and so you stand right behind her, kind of just like diddling, because you don't know what to do, or you go look at them with her. What's that saying? That's kind of saying that you're afraid to move away from her, because you think that she's just going to wander off without you. And so you look at these things that you're not really interested in, because you'd rather be around her than risk her walking off without you. What if instead, when you're on a date with a woman and you're shopping, you're the one that says, oh, look at this cool cigar stuff. Stuff that a woman would not typically be into. And you go wander over there and look at that cool cigar stuff, and she either can follow you, or she doesn't, and you'll meet up with her later, right? Later meaning in that store. And so if she doesn't follow you, you look at the cigar stuff, and then maybe you look at some other stuff, and then you see her, and you talk to her about some cool stuff again, and maybe look at some stuff together, and maybe wander off some more. Or when she goes and says, oh, look at these cool bracelets, you just wander off and look at some cigar stuff. When you do that, you're not looking for her approval, you're not looking for her permission, and it comes across attractive. Trying to buy her affection with food, gifts, attention. Attention's a big one. Stop trying to pay attention to her. I know girls say they want a guy who cares about their feelings. When girls say this stuff, what they're really doing in their head, and here's a little game for you. I want you to think of what a girl can do to get you to go on a date with them. Let's say you're at a bar, and a girl wanted you to go on a date with her, right? Let's put it differently. Let's say I was making this video for women. What should I say to her to get her to go out? Well, let's just say the bar thing, right? Most of you are probably just saying right now, well, she could come over to me and she could just ask me out, right? Sure, she could just come over to you and she could ask you out. What most of you didn't say is, well, Adam, she could lose, she could join Jenny Quegg and lose 200 pounds and shave the hair lip and go get some wart remover to remove the hideous warts from her face. And the reason you didn't say that is because you imagine an attractive woman coming over to you in the bar and approaching you and asking you out. You didn't imagine an ugly woman, which is exactly, of course, the type of woman who would actually need help getting a date. The ugly woman, right? When a woman thinks of a guy and what they can do to get a date from her, she's thinking of an attractive guy. A guy who she's already attracted to. And so she's not thinking of what a guy can do to make him more attractive. She's thinking of what a guy can do to make him a better romantic partner. She's thinking of what Brad Pitt can do to make him like a better dad, like a better provider, like a better husband. And what Brad Pitt can do, maybe Brad Pitt's a little too old now, so was it Justin Timberlake, Zac Efron? Zac Efron could do, right? with his rocking hot bod and his millions of dollars that he probably has and his high social status from being famous and all that other stuff, is Zac Efron could pay attention to her feelings. Zac Efron could compliment and buy her flowers because she's afraid that Zac Efron might just be after her pussy and doesn't actually want to date her. And so when Zac Efron shows that he cares about her as a woman, it satisfies that part of her that's insecure and is afraid that he's just using her for sex. She's not afraid you're just using her for sex. Maybe a little, but you're much, much, much worse, right, at being attracted. That's what she's worried from you, is that you're not attractive enough. She wants Zac Efron to not be afraid to cry in front of her once, when he's holding his newborn son, that one time in his life, no other time. She doesn't want Zac Efron always crying, just that once. She doesn't want you to cry in front of her. She wants you to be attractive. Sharing how you feel, pretty much at all, but especially too early in the relationship, very, very bad. Again, the name of the game is she likes you more than you like her. So if you tell her that you like her, you just lost, right? You just lost. That's how you lose the game. That's it. You're done. In fact, if you want to know how to end the game, it's pretty much you win if you have sex before you say that you like her. You lose if you tell her that you like her before you have sex. In fact, I'm going to just put it out there, if you tell a girl that you like her before you have sex, you're probably not sleeping with that woman. 9 times out of 10 out of my, I guess it's been 10 years of experience now. 10 years of experience now, 9 times out of 10 when a guy told a girl that he liked her, he didn't sleep with that girl. Alright, if he did it before sex. And it's probably been more than 9 times out of 10. It's probably been something like, 97, 98 times out of 100 when if guy told a girl that he liked her before having sex, he didn't sleep with that girl. Even if things were perfectly good, even if they were kissing and fooling around, even if he was lining up his dick with her vagina, and right before he did it, he's like, by the way, I like you. Her legs just clamped shut, alright? Which is over-exaggeration, but that's how bad it is to say it before sex. So wait, it's okay, right? I would say wait until you fucked her like 10 times, and you're picking out curtains for moving in together. She'll know you like her by other ways. It's kind of obvious by the fact that you keep hanging out and keep kissing her and sleeping with her. And basically just giving away all your power. Right, which means what you think it means. Which means you keep saying, well, what do you want to do, honey? I want to do whatever you want to do. I keep wanting your approval. I keep wanting your permission. I keep wanting to make sure that you're happy and satisfied in the relationship because I'm afraid of you leaving me. Remember, she's afraid of you leaving her. She wants you more than you want her. You're going to be aloof, like Stephen Hyde from that 70s show, if you don't really know how to get that concept. Right, just act like him. You're going to be higher status, you're going to be confident, you're going to be cocky, and you're just going to come off as some guy who's, being fun and cool and going his own way, and she can hang along if she wants. Right? Because you're a cool guy and you like to have her company. And if she doesn't want to hang around, that's fine by you too, because you've got other girls and you've got other options. And when you do all this stuff, you're going to get the girl.